What is up, Hammerheads? Welcome back to the Forge. Today we are going to be making 3 different decorative ends on flat bar for wall mount pieces, for various things. So stay tuned, guys. Okay guys, so this is one of the easiest ones that we're going to do. All you're going to be doing is fullering out the end at a slight angle. And don't forget to move your material around as you're working. Same concept that we did whenever we were making the nail head spot on a hook or when we were fullering out a leaf. You can literally do these in one heat. So right here, all we're doing is just rounding up the ends, taking those sharp points off. And now I'm just marking where I want my fuller to roughly be whenever we go to fuller it down with the spring fuller. Okay guys, so sometimes, and I wanted to show this part, is sometimes your spring fuller might be too tight because you didn't get the back of it thin enough or whatever. So using that twisting wrench to help set everything in place just was a third hand, just to using it as a cheater bar, as they say. Now after you do your fullering down, do not forget to hammer down those quilted ends that are starting to come up. Alright guys, so now here I'm just rounding around my corners to make that dime shape in the starting of it. Now be careful when you're hammering on this because the material will try to bend over, as you can see here. Just flatten it out as you're going. You're not trying to move metal, you're just trying to reshape it back down to where it needed to be. And if you ever have any problems with the dime and that roundness not coming in real well, get it as close as you can, then take it to a sander or a grinder and you can clean those edges up and make them more round. I like the design this was going with, so I just ran with it. Alright guys, so you're going to start hammering your material down at a slight angle. Make sure you work both edges of your material. You don't want to work one side of it unless you're going for that design or pattern. You want to keep everything pretty uniform. And pay very close attention to the tip as you're drawing it out because that material will quilt over really quick and make a cold shut where it'll be easy for it to break. Okay guys, as you can see, I keep turning the material and I keep checking to make sure everything's staying uniform, keeping everything flat. Alright, as you can see, guys, if you're looking at the tip of my material, you can see a cold shut trying to form there. And I will take that over to the sander and grind that down so I don't get that cold shut to completely form in. Alright guys, let's get real for a minute and talk about what we learned today. First, learned how to make 3 different style decorative ends on your flat bar. If you have not made the spring fuller, there's a link in the description, and I might try to have it pop up, but I'm not that tech savvy yet, on where you can go to watch the next video, or watch the last video, I apologize, on how to make those. But let's talk about each one of these and other things they can be used for. Okay. First and foremost, let's talk about the fishtail. So we learned on doing an angle and flattening the material out, fullering it out. If I would have kept these sides more square and used a little bit thicker piece of steel, you've just made a wood chisel. You can also, on the way this is made and as flat as it is, again, a wider piece of metal, and you did this, you could do a pizza cutter, a herb chopper. There's a ton of possibilities for these. So next, let's talk about our half dime, which again could be just a hair rounder. But you started the makings of a spoon. You can fuller this out a little bit more, you know, make the spoon shape. Indent it, make it more of a 3-dimensional for a wall-mounted piece. I mean, there's just a ton of things that you can do with just this one shape. For this particular one, because as I'm looking at it, it looks like a head. You could probably punch some eyes in it and make a skeleton key with just that roughed out shape. Last but not least, our spear point or arrowhead, and that's what you can make out of it. It's a spear point or an arrowhead. You can fuller these out more and make them into more of a spade shape for wall-mounted pieces, or the spear point arrowheads. Scroll them up. There's just so many applications with just these 3 that your mind can go very creative with. And I wanted to do this particular one because I've been talking about, you know, basic scroll and scroll work and things like that. We will be doing some of these ends, especially this end, on some scroll pieces. Sorry, I got a messages. ADD kicked in. But we will be doing this end on a lot of scroll pieces whenever we go to do some scroll work, because I like using the fishtail end on jigs because it catches better. Alright guys, so that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to show some basic tooling to make some really cool ends on some material to up, you know, your pot racks, your Forsyth latches, all those different things. Up that game a little bit. So guys, hope you enjoyed it. God bless. Keep hammering. See you on the next one.